Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Tiger. Really appreciate you stopping by to check out our progress with Spirit of the Scout. I just want to give you a quick update as to some of the most recent developments in the project. The first thing that happened recently was we had a chance to sit down and have a meeting with David Henry. David is the fundraising coordinator for Love 146. He's based in New Haven, Connecticut, but he happened to be in our area for another fundraising event that was taking place in the local area. So we got together with him and had a breakfast meeting and planning session. And I don't know if we were more excited to meet with him or if he was more excited to meet with us. But I tell you, there's a lot of excitement about this project, both on the Love 146 side of the equation and on our side. We're about 1 month away now from hitting the road, and we are feverishly working behind the scenes to get all the pieces put in place so that we can take this Indian Scout and go from one coast and to the other coast and then come back again to our home here in Maryland. And of course, as I've mentioned before, we're doing all of this. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money, but we're doing all this for one purpose, and that purpose is to support the fantastic work of Love 146. I can sit here all evening and tell you about the work that they do, but really the best way for you to get acquainted with the organization and with the work that they do is to visit their website. It's www.love146.org. Of course, you can read more about them, about their mission, about their purpose, about how they were founded, about the way that they operate, and about the work that they do. I'm very excited. It was particularly good for me to be able to hear directly from David Henry some of the specific details of the projects that they are involved in, which are bringing hope and healing and restoration to kids who have, through no fault of their own, been put through things that no one should ever go through. One of the things that really spoke to me the most was he mentioned that they never close a case. They serve as a continuing resource for a child. So if a child is recovering from the trauma of being victimized sexually as part of the sex trafficking industry, they never reach a point where they say, okay, you've reached age 16, you're out of the program, or that sort of thing. They serve as a continuing resource for that child for as long as they feel that they need it. And even if the child separates from the program and goes on their own way, and then at some point in the future they feel like they want to come back and speak with a counselor, find someone with a listening ear, that sort of thing, they're always welcome to do that. And I just think that's fantastic because it shows their long-term commitment to taking these broken kids and working with them over the course of the long term to bring them back to wholeness. It's just fantastic. I tell you, it really doesn't matter about your worldview or your belief systems or your politics or any of that. This is a cause that you can feel great about supporting because it really makes a tangible difference for the most vulnerable among us. And as a father, I can tell you there's very few things that appeal to me more than making sure that children are cared for. That's something that is critically important to me. And so whether you're a father or a parent or not, it really doesn't matter. If you just have a heart to see these children rescued and to see their lives change for the better, then there's definitely room for you in this project. Okay, another thing that I mentioned, of course, is that we are now 1 month away from launch. So we are still in the process of doing our fundraising. We have fundraising split into two segments. segment one involves raising funds for our family to cover our travel expenses as we cross the country and come back. You might be saying, hey, if this is your family's project, then why aren't you raising the money, or why aren't you earning the money yourself, that sort of thing. But I had originally conceived this project as a solo project. My original plan was to have my motorcycle shipped to California from my home in Maryland, and then I was going to fly to California, retrieve the bike, and ride it one way back home. Once my wife and my family became aware of the project, it became quickly apparent that it would be better to have it be a family project instead of just a solo project. So suddenly the trip morphed from being a solo trip one way across country into being a trip with the entire family going both directions across the country, which definitely multiplied the scale of the trip and the time that was involved and the expense. So I had enough money set aside and saved up for me to do my solo ride, but then when the family joined forces with me, then that left us in a position of having to reach out to others and broaden our support base so that we would have the resources that we need to get this thing done. We've set ourselves a $200 daily budget for our travel expenses. That covers all the fuel expense for the motorcycle and for the SUV. That covers meals for 6 people, and that covers accommodations, whether that is staying in a campground or staying at a motel or what have you, whatever the arrangements are. But $200 a day is our daily budget for this trip, and we have already had a number of people step up to the plate and sponsor us for a day. And so that's great. We have covered a good bit of territory there, but we still have probably 2 weeks remaining of days that require a sponsor, which is our trip is about 5 weeks. So like I say, we've crossed the halfway point, and we're trying to close that last gap. The second phase of our fundraising is to, of course, raise funds for the host organization, which is Love 146. We've set a goal of $50,000 for this campaign, which is active now, and it runs until August 31st. So basically for the next 3 months, we are going to cross the country twice, and we are seeking to raise $50,000 for Love 146 to help them with their operations. So we're also looking for supporters who are willing to sign on and contribute to that cause. That is our primary focus. Now, I've really envisioned this project as being basically a grassroots campaign where a lot of us get together and join hands and work together to pull this off and make it happen. I personally would rather see 50,000 people donate $1 towards Love 146 as opposed to having 50 large donors give a $1,000 gift or something of that nature. I would prefer to spread it out over a broad base of people, and that way it makes it easier for everyone, and that way we hit our goal and we do what we set out to do, which is to help the children that are served by Love 146. So I would really urge you to consider joining in with us. And you say, well, can $10 really make a difference? I don't really have a lot of money to spare. I'm raising my family, I'm paying my mortgage, I've got my car payment, etc. Well, I understand all of those struggles. I really do. But I just want to urge you to consider contributing to this campaign at some point during the summer. And I want to assure you that there is no gift that is too small, and there is no gift that will not be appreciated, both by our family and also by the organization. So you may think, well, is my $5 gift going to make a difference? Is my $10 gift going to make a difference? And the answer is definitely yes. Remember that your donations to Love 146 are fully tax deductible, as they are a 501c3 organization. And so you will receive a receipt for your tax records. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and put up the link where you can send your donation directly to the Love 146 campaign under the Spirit of the Scout banner. That address is here. For our personal finances, we have established a GoFundMe account, and that account is also active. I want to point out that donations to the GoFundMe are not tax deductible. So if you are a small business owner and you need to have a receipt for your tax records, or you're looking for a deduction, then you want to make sure that your donation goes to the Love 146 portion of the campaign. But if you are not concerned about the tax deduction and you're just looking to support us in our work, then your donation to the GoFundMe would be very greatly appreciated. For those of you who are wondering about the motorcycle, well, of course, I've got over 500 miles on the clock now, so I need to get that back to the dealer for its initial service. Once that initial service is done, they're telling me I don't need to bring it in for service again for another 10,000 miles, which is good because I'm going to put on close to 10,000 miles going across the country and coming back. I know I'll do at least 7,000 miles. I'm not exactly sure what the total mileage will be. The next thing on the agenda for the motorcycle is to take it back down to Annapolis to Chesapeake Cycles. They are Maryland's only Indian dealer at this point, and we are going to get that bike ready for the open highway. I'm going to have a passenger seat installed, I'm going to have a windshield installed, and I'm going to have highway bars put on so that we are ready for the long distance riding that we're going to have to do to make it from sea to shining sea and back home again. Well, that's all the news that I have for right now. Like I say, we're 1 month away from launch, and we are very happy that you have decided to join us and take an interest in the project. It's a great cause. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to having you come along with us on this journey as we cross this country to raise funds and awareness for Love 146. My name is Tiger. Thanks again for watching. Have a great evening.